Hey buddies, I'm Spuggy here coming at you another Borderlands 3 video. Today we're going to be showing this week's Black Market's location and showcasing every single weapon. After I show you the location of the machine, we'll be going over each and every single weapon and what they can do. There's actually this really good shotgun that's considered one of the best shotguns in the game that you guys are definitely wanting to get. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into it.
Legendary? Whoa! No way!
Now, if you're a viewer of the channel, you'll notice that I have now an intro that is completely new. The music was produced by a Spotify artist by the name of Chaotix. I'll show it on the screen. I probably mispronounced his name, but he's a fantastic artist. Some of his music is really good, and I highly suggest checking it out because he did a great job creating that intro music for me. I'll put a link to his Spotify in the description and the comments. Now, to actually get to where the machine is. So the machine is actually going to be on Eden 6 all the way to Jacob's Estates, and it's actually going to be really close to the beginning. It's just going to be right over here, so I'm gonna walk over there. It only takes about like 10 seconds to get to the area, so it's a very easy machine to get access to, and you're definitely gonna want to get it because it has a fantastic shotgun. I'll show you in a few moments. So the item's actually going to be right up the stairs in the swamp area with all the houses, and it's going to be directly behind this one house. So the items that we have here are the Creeping Death, which is honestly not that good of a shotgun. I'll show you why, but I wouldn't waste my money on that personally if I were you. Then we have the Hellwalker, which is the shotgun I've been talking about. It's a fantastic shotgun. It's one of the best shotguns in the game. I would highly recommend farming for the perfect Hellwalker while this vending machine is up, because it's excellent. I'll show you where I can one-shot or nearly one-shot grave board every single time with this. And then finally we have a Firestorm grenade, which is very fun and kind of feels like a spell, which is cool because we're getting Tiny Tina Wonderlands in the future, but it isn't that great of a grenade. I'll show you in a few moments. And just in case you didn't get a good look, the area on where it is located on the map is all the way right here, very close to the spawn point. And let's move over to Sanctuary so I can showcase all the weapons. So first things first, let's talk about the Creeping Death. The Creeping Death is a TDR gun, so its main gimmick is going to be around its reload. It can only spawn in corrosive elements, so don't worry about farming for another element or even farming it at all, because it is truly a terrible gun. Pretty much what it does is when you shoot it, it shoots a ball, which has a terrible arc, doesn't go very far, but those little orbs will stay on any surface that you put it on, which is very nice. Now these balls will stay on any surface that you put it on for up to 10 seconds and then will explode, as you see in here, dealing corrosive splash damage. Now what you can do with the gun is, after you're done shooting all your guns, when you reload it, all the orbs will head over to wherever you threw the actual gun, which is very cool. So I'm going to put a bunch of orbs everywhere, and then I'm going to throw out the Jack clone, and then all the orbs will go right to it. But if you looked very closely, you'll see the damage number isn't very high, despite us having a lot of orbs out. Even with max ammo after shooting just one bullet, which translates to 17 in the magazine size, it only deals that amount of damage, which is very low for a TDR weapon. Sometimes TDR weapons can get a lot higher than that. The main problem is the base damage only being 19, so the TDR reload animation doesn't get a lot of damage on top of that, despite this build being stacked to the brim for splash damage, which is very sad. Every time you shoot the weapon, it consumes 3 ammo, which is another point why it's pretty bad, because it can't utilize its best property, which is being a TDR weapon, which, as many of you already know, more magazine size while you reload equals more damage. So it's very unfortunate that it's not that good of a weapon, because I do really like TDR weapons, but it's definitely a trash item. Don't recommend it at all. Let's talk about the Firestorm grenade. The Firestorm grenade is actually a really cool grenade. It can spawn in only fire, but there's like lots of properties you can get. The one you probably want to get is probably impact with rain. Now, the most important part there is the rain. Every time the grenade explodes, it's going to spawn some explosions from the sky, and it's not very good. This isn't a very good area to show because Sanctuary has a low ceiling, but every single time the grenade explodes, it will spawn 4 firestorm explosions from the sky, which is very cool. So what the rain does is, when it explodes the first time, of course it's going to spawn the 4 orbs from the sky, which deals okay damage, but then the rain will allow it to come back up and then explode 3 additional times, which basically just allows it to spawn even more orbs from the sky. But I'm going to go into an open field so you can actually see a better example of what I'm talking about. And then finally, the Hellwalker. The Hellwalker is a fantastic shotgun. It comes in only fire, which is funny. All of these have fixed elements, which is probably the theme that they're going for. Every time you shoot the gun, it takes away 2 ammo as opposed to 1. So it's basically a 1 shot and then you immediately reload. But the reload animation is so quick that it doesn't even matter. See how quickly I'm reloading? And then I do have some magazine size on this build, which allows me to shoot it for longer. And every single time you shoot it, you can hear a little guitar riff. Let's listen for a little bit. It's very cool. But another cool Easter egg about this weapon is that when you shoot it, it shoots in a pentagram bullet pattern, which is very cool. It's kind of hard to see, but you can kind of see it on a wall decal here. That's a decent pentagram. It wasn't the best, but you get what I'm saying. And then finally, the tip of the shotgun will always smoke and always be flaming, which is very cool. It's a very aesthetically pleasing and very powerful gun. It does come with fixed parts, so you don't actually have to worry for a god roll version of this. All Hellwalkers will be really good. Just farm for appropriate anointment, or if you have enough iridium, just re-roll it. But the main focus here is the damage. The damage is absolutely fantastic. I'm actually going to go over to Grave Ward so we can see how the Firestorm grenade works properly and see how much damage we can deal with the Hellwalker. So before we kill Grave Ward, let's see how the Firestorm grenade is properly used. So when you throw it down, it's going to summon the meteors, as I said before. It will spawn 4 times as the amount of explosions that happens. So if you notice here, 1 explosion, 1 spawn, 2 explosion, 3, 4, 5. So the reason why it spawns 5 is because the rain will spawn the grenade 3 additional times and then finally explode 1 more time in the sky. So it will spawn a total of 20 meteors, which is very, very cool. But the damage isn't very good and it's kind of hard to hit the enemy because the splash damage is so low. I'll show you some of the damage against Grave Ward's arm in a few moments here. Alright, I'm going to exit enter Iron Bear real quick so we can get as much damage as possible. Of course, it would be able to deal more damage if I had Guardian Angel, but I don't. So I'm going to throw it below Grave Ward and we're going to see the orbs actually deal a lot more damage than I was expecting to show you guys. So I'm not even sure what to say actually at this point. So I'm sure Grave Ward's kind of an exception because of the fact that all the orbs will spawn directly on top of the arm as opposed to fiddling around and trying to hit the enemy it's trying to hit. But if I had a Guardian Angel there, it would have totally just one-shot him instantly, or even with just a URAD on my Hellwalker. So that was actually a very good showing of the Firestorm that I wasn't expecting to show you guys. I'm gonna go to Athena so I can show you actually a little bit more on the grenade because that was a little bit of a flex. I didn't mean to show you. Now let's actually show you how well the Hellwalker shotgun can actually do. Hopefully it won't be overshadowed by that fucking grenade. All right, now that I'm at a good place with Grave Ward, I'm going to equip the Hellwalker shotgun and show you how much damage we can deal with just 1 shot. So with just 1 shot, we actually just killed Grave Ward very, very easily. I don't know how much damage it just did there, but it was able to 1-shot Grave Ward, which pretty much has 500 million health, which is a phenomenal showing for this weapon. And now let's go to Athena so we can showcase the Firestorm grenade so we can actually see proper demonstration on how it performs. So now we have some enemies here. I'm going to show you how much damage the grenade can actually deal by itself. So with some mobs enemies, all it had to do was just walk away, and despite us having increased splash damage, the enemy pretty much wasn't able to be hit just by walking away a tiny bit. So the biggest offender with this grenade is that its splash damage allows it to not deal as much damage as it possibly could. See right there, it dealt some good damage, so that's because those enemies didn't really move too much. Of course, with some bosses, I'm sure you could deal some decent damage, maybe with a Guardian Angel, maybe with a more optimized URAD build here, like a URAD Guardian Angel, you could deal more damage. Definitely. Of course, if I were to activate my Revolter, I would be dealing a lot more damage here, so let's go and do that real quick. I'm going to throw the grenade, and it pretty much almost killed him. And not really. I mean, like I was going to say that, hoping it would almost kill him in just 1 shot, but it doesn't look like a Revolter is actually affecting the grenade, which I didn't actually know. Okay, never mind. I'm not sure why my Revolter wasn't adding the damage properly, but with the Revolter, of course, it deals a lot more damage. With a Guardian Angel on top of it, you could deal a decent amount of damage. You could potentially try to use it with a Peregrine build, but it's not the optimal grenade to use with a Peregrine build. It does okay. It's not phenomenal. Definitely spend all your money on getting a Hellwalker and then, I guess, get a Firestorm, but probably save your money for next week. But as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.
And the last shall be first to immerse in a pass out heat, facing him out with a moxie melt till he woke up drowning in tchotchke hell. More in a cave with a torch on a wall than a window arrangement of porcelain dolls.